Did Taehyung's wise decision now turn out to be the biggest burden for BTS? And why does HYBE now seem to regret the move? These questions rocked the K-pop industry and sparked serious concerns from Jungkook. When the public believes that all plans are in order, unexpected signals from the internal HYBE suddenly appear that confuse many parties. Taehyung's move, initially hailed as a manifestation of self-reliance and personal ambition, has now been linked to a potential rift in BTS's future. But how deep is HYBE's regret, and what worries Jungkook so much? Will this decision have a greater impact than previously imagined? New facts are revealed. Internal leaks from management reveal astonishing dynamics. Jungkook, who is known to be calm and rarely makes emotional comments, finally spoke up. There is unusual pressure. There's an uneasiness that can't be contained. The name Taehyung, or known to the world by his stage name BTS, is back in the spotlight after HYBE's internal sources stated that the company is now reevaluating all of their personal and group strategies, especially regarding Taehyung's decision. The decision, according to sources, not only shocked many internally, but also raised the potential for a split agenda that could greatly affect BTS's future as a global group, including their visibility in the United States. Why did this happen? And why does HYBE look hesitant now, having previously given the green light to all of Taehyung's steps? An internal crisis that is rarely revealed to the public is now becoming apparent. One by one, the puzzle pieces began to open. And most worrisome of all, Jungkook's involvement in highly emotional internal discussions. It is no longer a spectator. He became the voice of unrest felt by many fans, especially ARMY around the world. Taehyung's shocking decision makes HYBE worried. After serving in the army, Taehyung made a bold move, signing a number of solo contracts outside the main structure of HYBE labels and establishing exclusive partnerships with creative agencies based in America. This strategic move seemed brilliant, cementing his individual brand as a multi-talented artist who wasn't tied to just one genre or market. He penetrated art, fashion, and even the world of television. However, the decision brought consequences. One of them is the reduction in the intensity of communication and coordination with other BTS parties. Some of the group's activities were forced to be postponed or canceled. And ironically, projects involving the promotion of BTS collectively in America also had to be reevaluated due to time constraints and contractual contradictions. It was then, according to an internal report that had never been published before, that the HYBE side began to feel pressure. They saw that Taehyung's move, although independent, had the potential to make BTS lose collective direction. And the most vocal in voicing those concerns is Jungkook. In a closed-door internal discussion session that took place just 2 weeks after Taehyung officially completed his military service, Jungkook was said to have expressed deep emotional unrest. According to sources present at the meeting, Jungkook said, "I support all of Taehyung's decisions, but I'm afraid we've lost something that can't be returned. I'm afraid BTS will never be the same again." The statement surprised many. Jungkook has always been known as the most diplomatic member of BTS, who always tries to maintain harmony. But when even he felt he had to speak in such an honest tone, the situation was clearly not simple. It's not just concerns about BTS, but also deep-seated disquiet over the dynamics of their future on the global stage, particularly in America, which has been a key market for the group's success. The American market is the main field of battle of the giants of the world music industry. BTS, from the era of Dynamite to Butter, managed to break through billboards and win the attention of millions of fans there. But without the full presence of all the members, especially when one of them, like Taehyung, operates independently outside of the group's coordination, the big question arises: will BTS still be able to maintain their dominance? Some major promoters in America are beginning to show caution. BTS is at a difficult crossroads. Will they return as one powerful entity, or will each form a new entity with a different direction? This is the concern HYBE is starting to open up. They feel that the decision not to set Taehyung's solo motion too much is now a boomerang. And according to internal sources, there is serious talk of a post-draft recovery strategy, including a possible change in the management structure. The situation became more complex as HYBE's internal party was split in two camps. The first camp fully supports the independence of artists, especially Taehyung, who is considered a global icon who is able to penetrate the fashion and art markets in America without having to be restricted. But the other camp sees a real threat to the integrity of BTS as a group if all members are allowed to pursue solo careers without coordinated boundaries. From here comes the regret that begins to smell. "If only we could rearrange everything," said a creative director of HYBE in an exclusive, unpublished report. "We are too loose. We think this is a form of independence. But we forgot, we're not managing one artist. We're looking after a symbol that's bigger than just a name." There is a big question that has not been answered until now. How will HYBE reunite BTS when the members' enlistment period is over? Will there be a sacrifice? Will some members be forced to choose between a solo career or group togetherness? And the most disturbing, has Taehyung's decision gone too far to be retracted? Jungkook, who is said to be the focal point in BTS's American revival project, is facing the biggest dilemma of his life. He wants to keep BTS intact. They want to preserve their heritage. But he also realizes that reality is no longer what it used to be. One thing is for sure, BTS is at a critical juncture. And unlike before, now all eyes are on two figures, Taehyung and Jungkook. One goes far for the sake of personal dreams, the other survives for the sake of collective dreams. Will they be able to walk together again? Will HYBE be able to fix the decision that began to regret? And more importantly, will fans, especially the ARMY in America and around the world, remain loyal if BTS's direction is no longer intact? These questions have not yet found answers. But one thing's for sure, the behind-the-scenes drama of HYBE, Taehyung, and Jungkook is far more complicated than what's been reported. After presenting a deep and emotional narrative regarding the alleged regret of HYBE over Taehyung's decision and Jungkook's concern about BTS's future, it is now time to reveal the actual facts and provide an accurate clarification. Although news like this can trigger curiosity, emotion, and even anxiety among ARMY and K-pop fans around the world, including in America, it is important to state honestly that the news is not true. All issues related to HYBE's regret, hidden conflict, and Jungkook's emotional anxiety have no valid or publicly verifiable basis. In the entertainment industry, especially in a sector involving global artists like BTS, speculation often grows wildly. Many dramatic narratives are created solely to attract attention and clicks, without considering the validity of the information. This case is no different. There has been no official statement from HYBE, no leaked internal report, and no recordings or documents showing that Taehyung made an independent decision that the company regretted. All of that is a constructed narrative without basis and tends to be misleading. To date, HYBE has never stated that they regret the solo career steps of BTS members, including Taehyung. In fact, quite the opposite. HYBE has openly supported and facilitated the individual careers of all members, providing wide artistic freedom and room for expression. This is evident from the many successful solo projects launched by each BTS member, both before and during their military service. Including Taehyung, who has been actively contributing to various creative projects across fields, from music to international fashion campaigns, including major initiatives in the American market. As for Jungkook, he has never once made a statement indicating personal concern over BTS's direction or criticizing his fellow members' decisions. On the contrary, Jungkook has always shown support and respect for each member's individual journey. In various interviews and official documentation, Jungkook often emphasizes that artistic freedom for each member is part of BTS's collective strength. He has never implied any internal pressure, emotional unrest, let alone a fear of group disbandment. This is further strengthened by the fact that all BTS members, including Jungkook and Taehyung, signed a contract extension with HYBE collectively in 2022, a strong signal that they still share a commitment to the group's future. Even while undergoing military service, they continue to demonstrate harmony through messages to fans, pre-recorded content releases, and various online interactions that show their unity as a family. The issue of HYBE's regret, or Taehyung deviating from the group's direction, is merely part of wild speculation that often surfaces in forums and on social media without factual basis. In the highly interpretative ecosystem of K-pop, alternative narratives often emerge, but the public must distinguish between opinion, fan theory, and actual news. BTS is a group that consciously plans their future with careful consideration. The members' solo journeys are not signs of division, but a long-term strategy carefully prepared with the agency. HYBE has reiterated many times that solo projects are not separation, but manifestations of individual growth that will strengthen the group's identity in the future, whether in South Korea, Asia, or important markets like America. Therefore, the news stating that HYBE regrets Taehyung's decision and that Jungkook is worried about group separation cannot be proven true. There is no official release, interview, or documented evidence that shows the narrative is real. What exists are speculative interpretations composed to stir readers' emotions. As intelligent readers, it is important to filter information and not get trapped in sensational narratives. While drama and conflict are appealing elements in the entertainment world, spreading unverified information can cause mass misunderstanding, unnecessary worry, and even harm the reputation of the involved artists. In conclusion, the news stating that HYBE regrets Taehyung's decision and that Jungkook feels worried about BTS's future is not true and not based on fact. There is no confirmed internal conflict, no expressed regret, and no fear of group dissolution as reported. BTS remains solid, and their projects, both individual and group, are still on a healthy and well-structured path. Hopefully, this clarification helps clear up misunderstandings and brings peace of mind to all ARMY around the world, including in America.